Are you into the occult? Do you like hearing ghost stories, the weird stuff, paranormal stuff? If you're into that, do watch this episode because I will be sharing all of my first-hand experiences with you today. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. For today, we are talking about my personal ghost stories and experiences. So keep on watching. One of my first ghosts or weird stories happened when I was around 2 or 3 years old. I don't really remember this much, but my family told me about it. So at around that time, my grandfather passed away and we were in the church for his last rites, and while everyone was facing front, like the coffin was there, the priest was there, everyone was listening to the mass and all that, I was running towards the other direction. Like I was running out the door screaming "Lolo, Lolo." Everyone was so shocked because it was as if I was running after my grandfather. In the Philippines, it used to be the tradition was you need to wear black and you cannot wear vibrant or bright colors when you're in mourning or someone died in the family. But because that happened, they had me wear a red dress on the funeral because it's also another superstitious belief that if you wear red, it will detract spirits or it will keep them from haunting you or something like that. So that's one story. Are you the type who went on ghost hunting trips with their friends way back in high school or college? Well, I was, and nothing really ever came out of those trips or or hunts. So I think you really get haunted or experience those paranormal things when you least expect it. Like when you're not aware of it. Because one time, like I went to an all-girls school. The campus is very old and is filled with stories, with ghost stories of this room, this hall having a resident ghost that shows up every so often, or somebody who committed suicide and would show herself during graduation practice or stuff like that. So those were very popular stories in our school. But one time, me and my best friend came from COCC training, and the training ended around 7 p.m. or it was already dark. And we came from the gym. And we were about to go to gate 1, the only gate that was open at that time. And to get there, the shortest way was to go through this dark driveway that had a wall on the right side and an old building on the left side. That was it. So we walked on that path and it got darker the more we were away from the gym. The gym was the only part that had lights on. So while we were walking, there was a nun, like walking past us. And then we even said, "Hi sister." And then the nun just kept walking. And then we stopped and looked at each other, then ran. We ran towards gate 1 and we were really spooked. And then when we got there, that's when we compared notes, like why we were spooked. We did not look back. As soon as the nun passed us, okay, so this is what we realized. Oh my god, I'm getting goosebumps while telling the story. Anyway, when you're walking, you make a sort of, like your body like naturally like goes like this, right? Like up and down, like shifting weight, all that. But what we noticed or realized was the nun was just like, oh my god, like just passed like that. And if she was walking fast, like you would like the body would jiggle more, right? And it didn't. Like, oh my god, what just happened? When I was in high school, we would go to our ancestral home in the province almost every weekend. And during those weekends, I would hang out with my friends and just stay up as late as possible. Our ancestral home had the ground floor and a second floor. But the thing with old houses was the ground floor used to be just like a receiving area and then the garage. And then when you get to the second floor, that's where everything is, like the living area, dining area, the kitchen. That's where everyone was. This is just a light story. Like, I don't think it's not much. Like, because after a while I just got used to it. So I would often go up at around midnight or 1 a.m. and then the lights on the ground floor would be off. Like the only light that would guide me was the one gleaming down the stairs. What I would do was move as fast as I can, like go in, lock the door, then run up the stairs. Why? Because I would often smell either flowers or a burning candle almost every single time. I think it really depends on your beliefs or on your religion. But me, those are the only hauntings I felt in that house. And in spite of having other people like our caretakers or other cousins who would sleep in that house without us there, like in spite of their really terrifying stories, I only experienced those scents. And what I got out of that was, it was just our great-grandfathers and grandparents who were just taking care of the house or just wanted to protect us. So it didn't really bother me that much. So now fast forward to college. My first 2 years of college I spent in UP Los Baños. It's in the province as well, beside a very mysterious mountain. For my first year, I lived in this dorm. It was on one of the main roads of the campus. And I shared a room with 2 other people. I was on one bed and there was a double-deck bed adjacent to mine. And then behind my bed was the door. The funny thing was, this was a really very quaint dorm, and the door only had like a nail to lock it. It didn't even have a doorknob, I think. Like, oh my gosh. And we had a male caretaker that didn't talk much, who lived with us. Like, I think he would sleep in front of the house or at the living area of the house to guard the dormitory. The first time it happened, I remember I was dreaming. I knew I was dreaming, okay? And I knew I was sleeping facing the wall. And then the wall's color is mint green, okay? But this time, like, it was, okay, I'm sleeping. I know I'm sleeping. I'm in the dream. I can see the green wall, but there were like 2 pieces of brass vases in front of me, and I thought, oh my god, this is so weird. Why is this happening? And then I could hear faint, evil laughter from afar. Oh my god. Yeah. It was like the sound of witches laughing. They were laughing, laughing, laughing. And I was starting to get really scared. And what I did was, I prayed and prayed and prayed. I prayed the Apostles' Creed. I think like before, that was the number one tip I got. Like, if you're scared, like, pray the Apostles' Creed for those things to go away. Yeah, so that's what I did. And then I couldn't move. So when I was able to move, I managed to rotate. Like, I was sleeping sideways. So I tried to move like this. And then the laughing stopped. And then I said, wake up, wake up, wake up. And then when I was on my back, I felt someone on top of me, someone or something on top of me, and I knew my eyes were still closed, and I would say, move, 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 and then scream. Like, what if the caretaker was raping me? Like, oh my God, I was thinking that. And then, okay, so when I finally, like, force yourself to sit up. So when I was finally able to sit up, I opened my eyes, and it was just, and then I looked at the door, it was still locked. And then my roommates were sleeping, and it was like, oh my God, it was just a bad freaking dream. Okay, so I dismissed that. But a few nights after, it happened again. It happened again. Like, oh my God, I was so scared. So, okay, this time, okay, I was sleeping. And then I was into that state again, that state of like, okay, I'm asleep, but I am aware that I'm asleep. And this time around, I didn't see anything. It was pitch black, but there's that terrifying, evil laughter again. And so I prayed, okay, last time this worked. I prayed the Apostles' Creed. Last time it worked. So I did that again. But what happened was, oh my God, the laughter, it just kept on coming until I could feel something breathing down my neck. Like, oh my God, oh my God. I was so terrifying. Oh my God, I'm getting goosebumps. Damn. I just couldn't wait for the weekend to come so that I could go home to my family, to our own house, and sleep in my own bed. Like, oh my God, I was so freaked out. So a week passed. It stopped. So good, oh good, it stopped, thank God. Another week came. I hung out with some friends. And then these friends of mine had introduced me to another friend. And what happened next scared me even more. Like, okay, this friend has a third eye. Like, he's known to have a third eye and see ghosts or know what happened here and there. And then, out of the blue, we were just, like, he was just sharing ghost stories and all that. And then he said, you know what, Kat, you need to be careful because on this road, there is a black lady roaming about. Okay? And then, did you know that, like, 2 houses away from your dormitory, there was a girl who got possessed there like 2 years ago. So that black lady is just looking for her next victim. And then, oh my God, I go, oh my God, let me tell you about what happened to me. So I told him the story. And then okay, this is what you do. He told me what to do, like say this, do this, say this prayer, and all those things. So that's what I did. And oh my God, I'm just so relieved that it stopped for good. And it has never happened to me again. But I have more stories to tell, and there's just not enough time. I don't want this video to be 30 minutes long. So please subscribe, hit like, and turn on the notifications button to see more of my videos. Watch out for part 2 of this series. Bye!